Caitlyn Clark, a name that has lit up the world of women's basketball with grace and brilliance, has always captivated fans with her effortless talent and magnetic presence on the court. Today, however, she brings us a message that gently tugs at the heartstrings of her admirers. I'm officially retiring. As we pause to absorb this news, there's a calm sense of reflection in the air. Caitlyn's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary, and while her decision to step away may come as a surprise, it invites us to appreciate the profound impact she's had on the game. Let's take a moment to explore the serene wisdom behind this choice and celebrate the legacy of a player whose artistry in basketball will be remembered for years to come.
I think we could have executed a little bit better on offense, but they're a really good defensive team. So we got a little stagnant. We didn't get out in transition probably as much as we would have liked, but we did some good things, but also some things we can learn from.
Caitlyn Clark's announcement of her retirement is a moment that invites deep reflection, not just on her extraordinary career, but on the nature of the journeys we all take in life. For years, she has been a luminous presence on the basketball court, dazzling fans and opponents alike with her unmatched skill, sharp basketball IQ, and an unrelenting passion for the game. Her decision to step away from the sport may come as a shock to many, but within it lies a story of growth, self-awareness, and the pursuit of a new kind of fulfillment. Clark's rise to prominence in the world of women's basketball has been nothing short of meteoric.
Obviously, a lot of people here that wear Fever stuff or wear, Caitlyn Clark shirt, whatever, but at the same time, they understand really good basketball and they can appreciate what the Lynx did and who the Lynx are, and also their history. Like, they know who Maya Moore is. They know, she's one of the best of all time. So they're here to celebrate her and appreciate her too. And I think you definitely have those loyal Lynx fans. You heard them sometimes too. And then you certainly heard a crowd that just loves basketball and was there to celebrate it. And honestly, it was a great game. Like, the offense was great. It was up and down. Both teams were tired. So I think it was just a great display of women's basketball, honestly.
From her early days in high school, where she quickly established herself as a phenom, to her stellar college career at the University of Iowa, where she consistently set records and captivated audiences with her playmaking ability, Clark has been a force of nature. Her ability to control the pace of the game, combined with a shooting range that seemed to stretch to infinity, made her a nightmare for defenders and a delight for fans. Throughout her career, Clark displayed a level of maturity and poise that belied her age. She was always more than just a scorer. She was a leader, a creator, and a player who made everyone around her better. Her court vision, passing ability, and decision-making set her apart, as she seamlessly blended individual brilliance with team-first mentality. Her presence on the court was calming and electrifying at the same time, a rare combination that made her one of the most beloved figures in the sport.
I think it's a great environment for her. She definitely deserves it. And obviously they had tremendous crowds when she was here playing, and they won the finals a few times. And, it's cool to play in front of her. Like, she's courtside and you look over like that's your childhood idol. So you got to pinch yourself a little bit at times and, be thankful for the moment and enjoy it and still compete and be lucky that you get to do this at the highest level.
As she continued to rack up accolades and break records, it became clear that Caitlyn Clark was destined for greatness. She led her team to victories, earned numerous individual awards, and became a role model for aspiring young athletes. Her impact extended far beyond the statistics, as she inspired a new generation of girls to pick up a basketball and dream big. But as with all journeys, there comes a time when one chapter ends and another begins. For Caitlyn, this moment arrived with her decision to retire. On the surface, it may seem puzzling. Why would a player at the height of her powers, with so much left to achieve, choose to step away? But the answer lies in the understanding that greatness is not just about what you achieve, but how you choose to live your life. Caitlyn Clark's retirement is not a sign of burnout or disillusionment, but rather a conscious and deliberate choice. It reflects a deep introspection and a recognition that life is about more than just what happens on the court. For Caitlyn, the decision to retire is about honoring her journey, preserving her love for the game, and exploring new avenues of growth and happiness. In making this decision, Caitlyn has shown a remarkable level of self-awareness. She understands that the relentless pursuit of success can sometimes come at the cost of personal well-being and fulfillment. By stepping away now, she is choosing to prioritize her mental and emotional health, ensuring that she leaves the game on her own terms with her passion for it intact. This decision also speaks to Caitlyn's understanding of the impermanence of life. She knows that basketball has been a significant part of her life, but it is not the entirety of it. There are other dreams to chase, other passions to explore, and other ways to make an impact on the world. In choosing to retire, she is embracing the uncertainty of the future, with the same courage and confidence that she brought to the court. Caitlyn's retirement is also a powerful reminder of the importance of balance. Throughout her career, she has been a tireless worker, always striving to improve and push the boundaries of what is possible. But she also understands that life is not just about pushing forward. Sometimes, it's about knowing when to pause, reflect, and take a different path. By choosing to retire, Caitlyn is setting an example for others, showing that it's okay to step back and prioritize your own well-being. The decision to retire also highlights Caitlyn's deep connection to the game of basketball. For her, the sport has always been about more than just winning. It has been a source of joy, a way to express herself, and a means to connect with others. By retiring, she is not turning her back on the game, but rather honoring it by recognizing that her journey with it has reached a natural conclusion. She leaves with a sense of gratitude for all that basketball has given her and all that she has been able to give in return. As we reflect on Caitlyn Clark's career, it's important to recognize the impact she has had on the game and the people who love it. Her influence extends far beyond the points she scored or the games she won. She has been a trailblazer, a leader, and a source of inspiration for countless young athletes. Her legacy is not just in the records she set, but in the lives she touched and the dreams she helped to ignite.
It's going to set in for me for quite some time. I want my legacy to be the impact that I can have on young kids.
I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better.
The WNBA game is always intense and physical, like a non-stop showdown of strength and strategy.
The WNBA game has always been physical, has always been violent. Everybody is getting fouled hard, not just Caitlyn Clark, but everybody is getting fouled.
Caitlyn's stepping up big time, poised to lead our squad to new heights.
Hey, Caitlyn, we're watching you evolve. We're watching your game evolve a little bit, and we're seeing you become more of a vocal leader to the team.
Clark's aggressive gameplay lead to potential disciplinary action.
The question of whether Caitlyn Clark faces suspension due to flagrant fouls looms large in discussions surrounding her performance. As a prominent player in her sport, Clark's aggressive style of play has occasionally led to incidents that raise concerns about potential disciplinary actions.
Caitlyn's string of flagrant fouls has stirred up some serious talk about her future on the court.
Her recent accumulation of flagrant fouls has heightened speculation about her future on the court.
It's a foul. We have a technical foul on the play. Minnesota will shoot one shot, and the play will resume from the point of interruption.
You hear the announcement here.
Fans and analysts alike are closely monitoring how league officials will address these infractions, as any suspension could have significant implications for both Clark and her team's upcoming games.
Here's how Caitlyn got a technical foul.
Called a transition take foul. They will, and now Clark gets a T in addition. And
yeah, okay. Certainly deserved the technical.
At St. Lawrence.
When Clark got in the face of Seattle Storm guard Victoria Vivians, and the two were hit with double technical fouls, it was Clark's third technical foul in the first 9 games of her WNBA career. WNBA rules stipulate that players get suspended for a game when they receive their 7th technical foul of the season, and an additional game for every other technical after that. They also receive an $800 fine.
Technical foul on the play.
Yeah, it seemed like a really pivotal point in the game in the third quarter with the Dolson challenge. Seemed like you were talking to the refs for a long time. Seemed like you disagreed with it. What were you saying to them?
I mean, I don't know. I guess they saw something differently. Obviously, AB, like it's tough when AB's in foul trouble for us. That stinks for her. Just couldn't really get her into a flow and get her on the floor much, just because she played 20 minutes just because of her foul trouble. But I thought when she was in there, she was obviously pretty effective, 3 for 4. But I think they went on a 10-0 run after that call was reversed, and it would have been an and one. So I think that just kind of shows our maturity. We have to find a way to be able to move on from that. Yeah, we didn't get the call, but we need to stop right now, because I think at that point it was a 10 or 12 point game. We weren't out of it by any means, and then we let it balloon to a 20 plus game. So I think it's, it is what it is. It's whatever they see on the videos, what they're going to call. But I think we could have responded a little better. But I think there was a few moments in the game where it was we just couldn't get it to go our way.
The reaction from folks is getting pretty toxic over it.
I think the conversation overall about Caitlyn Clark and the reaction that we're seeing from a lot of people has become a bit toxic, because I think this incident is getting mushed in with how people have been playing defense on Caitlyn Clark, how physical they've been on Caitlyn Clark, some of the comments from some of the greats in the WNBA before Caitlyn Clark got in. It's all kind of getting put into this pot of Caitlyn Clark hate. And I think it's more nuanced than that. I think there are a lot of things that's happening with Caitlyn Clark in the start of her career that are very normal to a lot of sports. You often see players who are in the league or players who have played before or greats have opinions about new rising stars in the league. That is not uncommon. That's not exclusive to women's sports. It's not exclusive to men's basketball. We can pull so many examples of that. You often see rookies get played very tough, get a little message shown to them, especially if they're coming into the league with a lot of hype. That also is not new. I think what is very specifically unique about this situation is we are seeing a transcendent crossover superstar come into the league and have a huge amount of buzz, of polarization, of excitement. It is translating in numbers. It is translating in ticket sales. It is translating in conversation. And overall, I think that's a good thing. I don't think that what Kennedy did is a reflection of how the entirety of the league feels. I don't think it's a reflection of how all female athletes feel. And I don't think it's a reflection of how the media feels.
I mean, there's some hate going on, right? And we all can see it. I think what Joey just talked about is important, because not everything is hate, right? I feel like sometimes if somebody does something to a player, right, that's being hated on, you just throw that right in there with it. And that's not the case. They are pushing her a certain way. I don't mind guarding a rookie, from inbound to inbound, because she is that good. She deserves that type of attention. But my thing is, when you look at this play from Kennedy, though, right, there's no basketball part of that. And the game doesn't need that in any sport. If it's basketball, women or men, there's no, you call out her name and then what is that, right? And let me help you people out for a second. Kennedy Carter is her name. I know a lot of you guys don't know who that is. She actually got drafted 4th overall, right? 2020. She's been on 3 teams so far. So a player like that's not known, that's trying to get her name out there, they do stuff like that. In the NBA, they have that. They have Dylan Brooks. Yeah. They got guys like that. So I understand it, but my problem is when you talk about hate, that's hate. There's no basketball part of that in a game.
You may call it hate. What I will call it is envy. What we are seeing with Caitlyn Clark is envy, and let me define it for so many of y'all because they're human. I'm not surprised that we're seeing envy, but envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. With Caitlyn Clark, it's not at all luck. But what we're seeing, and not generalizing, not by every WNBA player, but by some, I believe Kennedy Carter in that specific incident, is envy. Because post-game, when you go to the presser and you don't want to answer questions about Caitlyn Clark, why? You answer questions about other individuals, but you don't want to answer questions about Caitlyn Clark. I believe what we are seeing is envy.
It's a tough situation in WNBA, where every game's a battle of grit and hustle.
Now, it's a tough situation because the WNBA game has always been physical, has always been violent. Everybody is getting fouled hard, not just Caitlyn Clark, but everybody is getting fouled. It's a very, very physical game. So I really don't know what you can do as a commissioner without really changing the game for Caitlyn Clark. I don't know what you can do. But with this whole situation and watching what unfolded in this situation with Kennedy, a couple things stood out to me. Number one, I did not like Angel Reese standing up and clapping on the sideline because it kind of lets me know that this is something that has been talked about, that is on our minds. Like, we are going to send this girl a message.
Clark's millionaire lifestyle includes living in a luxury home, driving expensive cars, and enjoying designer clothes. She often takes lavish vacations, attends exclusive events, and hosts high-profile gatherings, reflecting her success and wealth.
I'm wearing Armani dress, Versace shoes, Versace bag, Tiffany bracelets, and Tiffany necklace, Cartier earrings.
Here's a moment when Caitlyn Clark is seen wearing high-end brands, demonstrating her refined taste and preference for luxury fashion.
I went with Prada. I think Prada's like very me, very like, I don't know. I'm a pretty simple girl, but Prada's never dressed a WNBA player or NBA player for the draft, so it's very fun. Got the simple white and then sparkly on the inside. But yeah, really fun. Got the bag, got the slick shoes, so yeah.
Caitlyn Clark has been making history both on and off the court.
Caitlyn Clark is making history both on and off the court. The 22-year-old athlete stepped out in a monochromatic Prada set for the WNBA draft, making her the first athlete the Italian luxury fashion house has dressed, male or female, for the NBA or WNBA draft.
Great day for some golf. I never golf this early in the morning.
She grew up in Des Moines, where she spent countless hours playing golf and honing her skills on the local courses.
I grew up in Des Moines and I played there a ton. And honestly, I try to get back there as much as I can to play with my family. My dad plays a lot, my older brother plays a lot. So, you know, it's super fun. Today we're here, Finkbine Golf Course, 2v2 scramble, me and Spence versus Will and Kate. Me and Spence obviously gonna win, so here we go. We're very competitive people. We love to compete, whether it's on the basketball court or if it's out here. I think it just adds a fun element to golf.
People who know Caitlyn often say that she is incredibly goofy and always making jokes, bringing a lighthearted vibe to any situation.
They would probably just say I'm like super goofy. Like I just make like, I don't know, jokes all the time. And I don't think people always understand that. Like when I'm on the court, like I'm competitive, I'm like passionate.
When she's off the court, Caitlyn understands that life is about more than just basketball.
But like when I'm off the court, like I understand like there's more to life than just basketball, and you like get that. Like there's more to life than wrestling. Like just understanding that and enjoying every single day. And like, as you know, college goes fast. Like it can't be all serious all the time, so.
Caitlyn doesn't collect shoes, but she still owns a lot of them.
I don't collect. I have a lot of shoes. I have a lot of like kind of like trendy shoes, like Nike shoes. My mom gets mad when I buy new pairs, but like, here's the thing. My mom loves shoes too, so I probably get it from her.
Yeah, you do.
She says the shoes tie the outfit together. So I'm like, whenever she's like, Caitlyn, you have to stop buying shoes. I'm like, Mom, you have no room to talk. And then she just laughs. But yeah, honestly, like
we get a lot of shoes from Iowa, basketball and tennis shoes. So like I don't need to buy shoes, but you know, everybody needs some good pairs of shoes.
What kind of shoes does Caitlyn wear for basketball?
When you pick your shoe for basketball, do you go the Kobe's? Do you go the Jordans? What is your shoe?
Recently, KD's.
Okay.
His latest one, those were very comfortable. It's probably my favorite. They're almost like a mid-sole one, so they weren't low, but they weren't high. So like kind of protected your ankle a little more. I had quite a few pairs of those this year. It was really fun. I had a really good time. I thought I did a little better on the front 9. Wasn't as tired. Kind of got really tired on the back 9, but it was really fun. I appreciate all the Hawkeye fans that were out there today. A lot of people that support the Hawks, support women's basketball, so that was super cool to see. But just enjoying it because it's different for me. This is a little out of my comfort zone.
It's particularly special for Caitlyn to face off against the Ryder Cup captain in a golf match, as it presents a unique opportunity to compete against a prominent figure in the sport.
So just tried to have fun with it, and obviously when you get to golf against, you know, the Ryder Cup captain, not many people get that opportunity, so it's pretty special.
What do you do outside of basketball?
Oh, well, during basketball season, I don't have a ton of time, but my favorite like spring, summer activity is golf. Yeah, I love to go play.
I'm sure you're not competitive at all.
No, I'm not competitive at all. I obviously just like to do it because it's fun, and why else would I do it? I just love to go out there. If I have a bad hit, I don't care at all. But no, I'm super competitive, and honestly, we have a couple other girls on the team that like to play, a couple coaches that like to play, managers, so it gets competitive. It's usually not like us just all going out there and shooting like our own score. Like it's like 2v2, like best ball. Like it's obviously going to be competitive in some way. So I would say that's like my favorite activity when I'm not in basketball season. I remember getting my first set of golf clubs for one of my birthdays when I was really young. My dad got it for me. It was an all pink bag, all pink clubs, and my dad would always take me when we were younger. I probably started playing golf when I was like 3rd or 4th grade. I mean, I was terrible. I couldn't hit it off the ground, but I loved doing anything that was competitive. So even though I was bad, I just kept really working hard at it.
What time's the alarm normally set for Caitlyn Clark's world?
Well, during school, I'd probably get up like 8:30 every day, depending on when I had class. I had 8 a.m.s twice a week, but other than that, probably 8:30. But now that I'm home and I have nothing, I've been sleeping until like 9:30 every day. I feel like
embrace it while you can.
I feel like a bum when I get out of bed. I'm like, I wasted half the day, Mom. Why didn't you wake me up?
No, that's your body telling you need it. Trust me.
It's been good.
What is your favorite season and why?
Ooh, I'd go fall, just because, you know, I love summer and I love winter, but just the two combined. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. Football, basketball is just starting up again. It's my favorite. Outside is just so beautiful. It's definitely my favorite.
Caitlyn usually replies to her family's texts as quickly as possible, making sure to stay connected and maintain strong relationships despite her busy schedule.
I usually just text my family back as fast as I can, but other than that, like I usually am off my phone for quite a bit after the game because we have media and stuff like that. But I'm usually not in a rush to like respond to people and stuff.
You guys are all going to dinner as a team. Who are you waiting on the longest to get ready?
Honestly, Monica. She's kind of slow sometimes. Yeah.
If you had a hypothetical kid, who would you not let babysit that kid?
Hannah Stolke, for sure. A lot of people probably said me though, but I'm really good with kids. We have a lot of babies in the program. Coach Abby just had a baby, our strength coach did. And I love being around them. I take care of them, but I'm going Hannah Stolke.
Why is that?
Just kind of all over the place. Freshman, hasn't really figured it out yet. Probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. But with a kid, I don't know. I don't know.
Her satin miniskirt and jacket, bedazzled two-top, and black pumps were well received by many, including Caitlyn's boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey. Responding to a fan on X when asked his reaction to Caitlyn's slam dunk fit, Connor dropped 3 emojis, including the jaw-dropping and drooling face. Caitlyn responded a simple teary-eyed emoji. The college basketball it girl was the #1 draft pick and was picked up by the Indiana Fever.
When she was younger, she was terrified of cats, often feeling uneasy around them and avoiding them whenever possible.
When I was younger, I was terrified of cats. Like, I can deal with them a little now.
A little.
I don't really love them anymore, but like, I do not like cats.
Why?
What freaks you out about them?
There was this really mean one on my street growing up. So like, its name was Jinx, and it was black with green eyes, and I just did not like that thing. So to my neighbors, if you hear this, I'm sorry. Like, Jinx just wasn't my favorite.
Jinx went missing. Like, we have no idea what happened.
So you tell all the roommates, no cats allowed, right?
Heck no. Like, My roommate, I'm roommates with Kylie, who's on our team too.
Yeah.
She would never get a cat. I think she knows I don't like cats. I'm a huge dog person.
Say, are you a dog person?
Huge dog person. We have a golden retriever at home.
Honestly, I watch a lot of golf. I think over the years, definitely Jordan Spieth's probably my favorite. Justin Thomas. On the girl side, I like Nelly Korda. She's really good. That's weird. It says like 180 for a second, and it goes to 144. If I had to pick a foursome for my team, I'd go Kate, myself, then I'd go probably Catherine Reynolds. She golfs. She's our director of basketball operations. And then I would probably go Coach Raina because she's pretty good at golf and she's super funny. So she'd be good entertainment on the course.
A lot of people, they now want cars from you. Will you be able to deliver?
Cars. Oh, because my Buick deal?
Yeah.
I don't know about cars. I was joking with one of our managers. I'm like, hey, I'm going to get you a minivan. I think you'd be really cute driving a minivan, but no, I wish I got a car. I got them all headphones, though, with my Bose deal, which was fun. They all love those. So we're all going to have matching headphones going to this tournament.
What shoe have you not rocked that you want to rock? You come back in, long game, into the locker room, you can crush any meal. What are you picking?
Chicken parm, pasta, and a big glass of chocolate milk.
Here's a list of the shows and movies Caitlyn Clark watches on Netflix.
All right, your Netflix queues up. What are we watching?
Okay, so season 4 of You just came out.
Oh.
Outer Banks is about to come out, but also the new show about the PGA Tour is about to come out, where they were behind the scenes of the PGA Tour all of last year. So I'm super excited about that one on Netflix.
Outer Banks, isn't that like a romance?
Yes, it's a cheesy high school show basically, but that's kind of like what I like.
Yeah, well, we had Dawson's Creek. Did you ever hear that one?
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but like my favorite show of all time is One Tree Hill.
Oh, okay,
Did you
same
watch
thing.
that? Yeah, basketball. You got the love, romance, high school drama. I remember, like, that was my favorite show.
I love watching Netflix when I have downtime or just chilling. When I have time, like cooking meals at home or baking. You know, I grew up with my mom, who's a super good cook, so I learned some things from her.
Music.
Okay.
What are you bumping to when you're warming up?
Okay, this is probably gonna be surprising to a lot of people, but I go more like calm music when I'm like warming up because I'm already so like amped and juiced for the game that I don't need to keep adding to it. So I'm going more like calm music, like country music is usually what I pick. You know, it's not like super slow. It's not like I'm trying to go to sleep, but it's like, you know, you're not getting more amped than you already are.
Is there a food you have to like stay away from?
Honestly, not really. I'm not a very picky person. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like anything like super fancy. Like I kind of just like the basics, but I don't know. I'm not picky really. I'll eat basically anything.
We're not going to make it here unless you come and help us.
I know the mindset of the players that I have the opportunity and honor to coach, and they want to win. Fun is winning.
Appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like it's just super cool.
Cheryl Miller has 3 Indiana Fever teams under her belt.
So we're here at the WNBA All-Star Game. She's the head coach of Team WNBA. All right, you got 3 Fever players on your team. Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. You've been able to watch these guys from afar.
Yeah.
What's your perspective been of how they've been trending and just them individually as well?
I will say one thing. I did not count on their basketball IQ being that high. I knew it was high, obviously, because they play at this level.
Indiana has a promising future ahead, with lots of potential for success.
But it's one thing to know knowledge, it's another thing to talk about and speak and then put it into pieces and places. But it was a great collaboration with all the players, but Indiana has a very, very bright future.
For being how young they are, too.
Basketball IQ isn't just about knowing the game. It's about learning and improving quickly.
That basketball IQ speaks volumes.
It not only speaks volumes, it's one thing to be young and they're learning how to play the game and they're learning about their mistakes and how to correct them faster. And so they're making those game, in-game and out-of-game adjustments.
Cheryl is confident that they will mature and improve as they continue playing.
The only thing I see that's going to happen the older they get is how to stop the run sometimes and how to change, the momentum during games. But this is not a team people want to play because not only are they getting better, but they're confident and they show no fear. They're fearless.
Yeah, we love that. That's probably what contributed to them having such a successful end to that first half.
From the players' perspective, it's going to be a fiercely competitive game between the WNBA and the USA team.
All right, now we're going to transition to tomorrow, Team USA. All right, it's not just your regular year, it's your Olympic year. The intensity is high. That's what we heard from the players earlier. What's your mindset going in?
My mindset is their mindset. So it's all fun and games until the ball is tossed up. And then it's on, and these guys are competitors at both ends, and we're just going to go out there and give it a great show.
Here's Caitlyn's perspective on Cheryl Miller.
What's a Cheryl Miller practice like?
Gosh, I love Cheryl. I love her brother too. He's awesome, obviously, a pacer too. We were in a little commercial together, so I love their family. They're just awesome people. And one of the best that's ever played the game. So I've known Cheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious, and it's fun. Like, I called her coach and she was like, I don't know about that yet. You'll have to see how I do during the game. So, no, but it's super fun. And then obviously Andy Myers drives out too. Getting to be around those two people that have done so much for the game.
It means a lot to Caitlyn to have the opportunity to be coached by Cheryl Miller.
For me, it's super special. Like, there's still two people that I really look up to and idolize and appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like, it's just super cool.
Here's Christy Side's perspective on 3 Indiana Fever players being coached by Cheryl Miller.
3 of your players, I mean, the talk of the weekend has been where your organization is trending, where these players and their chemistry is trending. They're here, they put on a show. It should be fun tonight. What's that mean to you as a coach?
Yeah, just what you said, just the future of the Fever. It's incredible. I mean, to have these 3 here, and then what we have that are at home. It's just some unbelievable young talent, and that's just fun for the future.
Especially so young, to get this experience with other great players in the WNBA.
Being around veterans helps them gain valuable experience.
For sure, to be around some of these vets and just to hear their experiences and give them some advice on like what it took, and to be on these teams that are the top teams in our league. So it's just good for them to be around these guys and just get that good advice.
This is the start of your break. Why did you feel it was so important to be here and support them?
Oh gosh, I mean, these 3 guys, playing in this game. I mean, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I missed Kelsey last night in the skills challenge. We had a event last night, a funeral yesterday in Indy that I had to be at, but glad she was able to, pick it up for Erica Wheeler, who couldn't be here, and that was just an exciting. Glad she got to do that and represent the people.
Seems like the growing chemistry of Caitlyn and Aaliyah might be an example of what's to come for everything else, for everybody on that roster with this upcoming break. How much have you seen the team chemistry begin to transform to where you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes with, the wins and just, early, some of the same actions that were happening before. We just weren't on the same page. It takes time to build that chemistry on the court. And so now you've had games and you've had practice. And so now that they've had that opportunity, you're seeing what they're capable of doing. And then it's just surface level right now.
You've had a couple days to decompress after this first 26 games this season. Just what's your biggest takeaway from the first 26?
It's pretty incredible, Chloe. Just the games that we played with the fans in the stands. I mean, just playing in front of sold out arenas every night, even in the preseason, even in our games early, to play in front of fans like that, it's just so awesome that these players are getting that opportunity.
How does Cheryl Miller approach tonight's game?
How do you approach tonight's game in the sense of, like, it's an all-star game, but obviously this game means a lot for Team USA to get ready for the Olympics, as you know. And I'm sure obviously you want to win, as you mentioned yesterday, but it's not just a typical all-star game you've seen in years past.
It really wasn't, as we were talking about yesterday. And then watching the men today against Sudan, it got real, like real. So with that being said, I know the mindset of the players that I have the opportunity and honor to coach, and they want to win. Fun is winning. And that's the general consensus. So we're going to put the best product out there. I certainly want to get everybody a great look. And I think that's only fair because they deserve that. And then after that, they basically dictate it. If they want to go for the juggler, they'll go for the juggler. And that means for some of the players sacrificing their minutes. The teams that I've coached, period, compared to this team?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, these are the greatest players in the world. And when you have the greatest players in practice, and I'm coming in fresh and hot and new, and the game is so different than when I coach from the college level, and even from when I coached the Mercury. They are so invested in the game and so knowledgeable. Their basketball IQs are off the charts, and they're basically going to be coaching themselves. So that's the biggest difference. And again, like I said yesterday, it's the collaboration amongst all of them, each other, and just working it out and what they want to do.
How cool is it to coach Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark as they make their All-Star debuts, and how will you continue to teach them like the lessons in the game?
Here's the most significant lesson Cheryl Miller has given to Caitlyn Clark.
I think the biggest lesson that I can share with them is to stand back and be of service in the best way I can. I speak when I'm spoken to. I try to give them the best answers that I can and let them be themselves. And again, coaching is so it's easy for me now because I understand what the players need and looking ahead. It's not just what they're doing on the court, it's off the court. I understand that for young players, it's important for them to establish, and I hope I'm answering your question, their brand. But basketball and brand, it's beyond that. And I don't want them to lose sight of what's really, truly important, and that's the love of the game and how and why they started playing with this round thing and how that made them feel. I never want them to lose sight of that. And I hope I answered your question.
Miller offers her insights on the all-star team dynamics.
Yeah. What's your perspective been of how they've been trending and just them individually as well?
I will say one thing. I did not count on their basketball IQ being that high. I knew it was high, obviously, because they play at this level.
She emphasizes the importance of collaboration for success.
But it's one thing to know knowledge, it's another thing to talk about and speak and then put it into pieces and places. But it was a great collaboration with all the players.
Cheryl believes Indiana's future in women's basketball is very bright.
But Indiana has a very, very bright future.
For being how young they are, too, that basketball IQ speaks volumes.
It not only speaks volumes, it's one thing to be young, and they're learning how to play the game, and they're learning about their mistakes and how to correct them faster.
Rookies must master stopping the run and shifting game momentum.
And so they're making those game, in-game and out-of-game adjustments. The only thing I see that's going to happen the older they get is how to stop the run sometimes and how to change, the momentum during games.
The players are improving, showing confidence and fearlessness.
This is not a team people want to play because not only are they getting better, but they're confident and they show no fear. They're fearless.
It's all fun until the ball is tossed up. Then it's game time.
My mindset is their mindset. So it's all fun and games until the ball is tossed up. And then it's on. And these guys are competitors at both ends. And we're just going to go out there and give it a great show.
This wave of momentum reflects the journey of women's basketball.
So do you think that with your team this year is in the same position to do that globally for the WNBA brand?
I mean, I think it's been, it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening, obviously in the WNBA. And, I think hopefully this team can uphold, sort of the culture and the level of success and compete. But I don't necessarily know that this team is going to be, the team that changes things. I think we're continuing to, be on that upward trajectory, and this team has absolutely been a part of that.
Hey, Coach, what does it tell you about the overall talent right now in women's basketball that, you've got the best team chosen in the world to play the Olympics, and then you just got beaten by a group of people in the NBA who seem to be just as talented.
In the NBA. It felt like, we were guarding somebody from the NBA tonight. I think we know this. Everybody in this room, you're here because you've been watching women's basketball. I assume you're not new to it, right? So the depth, we've said this for years, the depth, whether it's the collegiate level or the dub, I'm here to be of service.
She discusses the profound impact of Diana Taurasi on the sport.
As you talked about the new wave in college basketball entering the W and some of the current crop of W players, are there any players that remind you of you? And if so, who are they?
No. And each of these young ladies, they're one of a kind. And when I watch women's basketball,